the video marketing guys.
We're subtle.
Who noticed the cross-marketing that I did there in the middle of that and can tell me for what website that was? lessonsfrommygrandson.com. We may just see lessons from my grandson today. Thank you very much. Hey, you don't stand out, get out. That's our #1 best-selling book on Amazon.com. Thank you very much.
All right, let's give you a little bit of a framework because when you want to create some video for your marketing, the first thing you want to reach for is not the camera. It's not the place to start. You have to go back to some basic marketing principles before you even start designing what it is you're going to do. So the first most important step here is to sit down and remind yourself something that you've hopefully defined many, many times already, but you got to remind yourself right before you start designing the arc of this script, which is, who is this video for? Who's my audience? Because in these videos, if you notice, Charlie, in many of these examples, and myself too, we're not trying to speak to a big audience like you all. We're speaking to one individual person. Your video is always being watched by one individual person. So you're having a one-on-one conversation many times over. That's part of the power of video. So step one in this framework is sit down and get really clear in your mind, to whom am I speaking? Back to those doorways again. If you're speaking to everyone, then start over again. Get up, because you're about to fall down. You need to speak to a very specific audience. You need to have a specific niche in mind when you're creating that video. So with that person in mind, now you have to begin with the end of the video in mind. The last thing in that video we just saw is a call to action to come over and opt in and register at thevideomarketingguys.com. So I need to know where the story ends. That's much more important than where their story begins. So who am I talking to? What do I want them to do? What's the call to action? Now that I'm clear with what I want them to do, you want to step back and think, what is the emotion that I want to evoke in this story? Because it's the emotion that gets somebody to go someplace. Emotion motivates. If it's just facts, they're going to watch it. Maybe they're entertained, maybe they're not. So your story is to a specific person. There's a specific end in mind, and I've got to motivate you somehow to take that action. The fourth thing you need to define then is, what is the core message that I'm now going to convey in the middle part of that message. So I've got the beginning, the end. In the middle, I've got a core message that I'm going to build that story around. And story is the fifth element. If I can build it as a narrative arc with a beginning, middle, and end. Every good story is once upon a time, and it ends with they lived it happily ever after, and something cool happens in the middle. Your video needs to do the same thing. It can be 60 seconds, it can be 30 seconds. You can do vines now for 6 seconds, and you still have to have a beginning, middle, and an end. Otherwise, the narrative doesn't make me want to do anything. It doesn't get me anywhere. There's a lot of really bad vines out there, but Adam Goldberg, the actor, if you haven't stumbled across his vines, I highly recommend them. They're hysterically funny with the blonde wig. It's really interesting. So what is the story? Then you got to pick a style. Do you want to be on camera? Is it live action? Are you going to do an animated video? Or are you going to do a voiceover with slides and text? You got to pick that, and then that allows you to then just start to structure what it is you're going to create. So all of that, you never even picked up a camera yet. That's just to do all of that groundwork, to lay that groundwork before you get there. So then you decide, based on the style, am I even going to use a camera? Am I just recording my PowerPoint and doing a voiceover? You're going to choose the equipment, the lighting, and get into the more technical stuff, all the stuff that has the learning curve to it to figure it out. But you can start very simply, and we're going to get to that in a second. Then you get to the nuts and bolts. Shoot the video, edit the video, publish the video, figure out a distribution system for the video. We'll touch on all those things. But let's look at how it can be done incredibly simply at this point.
Also notice in a lot of these videos that we have three things going on, at least at one time. You've got the picture going on. We've got a little soundtrack going on. So I'm going to do we've got a lower third. Most of us really don't use the third, but the lower part where the text is, right? And then maybe we have a voiceover or something else. Is anybody else scared by seeing me that large? I don't know. We have got to stay away from these projectors. All right, here we go. This is a way to do it very simply. Now, where does a video like this one appear? This is a call to action video on the web page to sign in. Because, again, you're sitting here saying, how can I do what they're doing? Where are they using video? What style of video? This one's on that page. Hi, this is Charlie Seymour Jr. here on our one camera.
I'm talking to this camera
This
here.
is just to show how easy it is on the one camera, one take. Really, all you need to do is sign in and
Yeah,
you get
sign
to
in
see
right
all
up
this
here.
information is.
One camera, one. Charlie invented
One
this.
camera,
one take, no editing. Couldn't be easier.
See how it is? You use this, you come right in here, you get close on Dr. Marc, you see exactly what's going on here. You just use this one camera and here you are. No editing, it's so simple. Sign in,
right
find
up
out
there.
about it. This is something you want to know about. It's real simple to use.
So the only equipment you need is already in your pocket. Your cell phone camera is enough to hold out that camera, do a quick introduction, turn it to somebody else that you're going to do a quick interview with, close it with yourself, done. You know, one camera, one take, no editing.
We really appreciate your attention. Thank you very much.